Potofsky, and I'm here both as the organizer of the conference along with my amazing 37 students from my course. Today we have a very packed schedule, and the morning is dedicated to the science of happiness and the emotions. We have some amazing presenters who are very well known and nationally recognized as experts in their field, and the focus was on neuroscience and how the brain works, how the mind can incline the brain toward well-being. And we also have work that is representing research in the fields of compassion.
My name is Emily Bookstein, and I'm a volunteer from the happiness class that Fred and Carol teach. And this is a 400-person conference about how to achieve happiness and experience greater happiness in your life. It's very exciting to be here. I'm interested in learning about happiness for myself. My goal is to make a positive contribution to the world, and I feel that being personally self-sustaining and happiness will help me do that.
I'm here because I've been helping organize this conference for the past month and a half or so, and I just think that the material here, the happiness material, is something that should really be broadly broadcasted throughout the Stanford community and the surrounding area, because it's just been absolutely foundational in sort of helping me manage Stanford life. And so I want to get the word out, and I'm here to make it happen.
I'm a student here at Stanford, and we are here because Stanford is very stressful and hard and demanding, and we want to learn how to be happy and deal with that stress.
It couldn't hurt, and we're here to learn anything we can.
Is the scientific understanding of why happiness is within us, of why success doesn't bring happiness, but happiness breeds success.
That there are certain things that make you better human beings and happier. And they're not just that desperate quest for achievement that this school focuses on. Because there's been an enormous number of successful, achievement-oriented people who are not happy. And you wander around communities like this and you see unbelievable wealth and scowls on people's faces all the time. And I wanted to teach people to learn pro-social values, like kindness and empathy and care. There are ages-old practices that have worked forever to soothe the human heart. And the practices that seem to soothe the human heart generally reduce the distance between people.
Self-compassion, which we'll hear more about later, is a very major area of research these days. Lots of evidence of many good effects. The problem is it's quite difficult for some people to do. I listed here a little neurologically savvy practice, which is to prime the pump of self-compassion by beginning with the felt sense of being with someone who cares about you. When we start by feeling cared about, our own cup is getting full, as it were, then it's easier for us to activate caring for others.
And it turns out that this fear of compassion, of having compassion for yourself, is strongly correlated with a fear of having compassion for others and a lack of willingness to extend compassion to others. That self-compassion is not letting ourselves off the hook and being self-indulgent. It's about choosing to use our own happiness and our own desire for meaning and connection with others as our primary motivation, as opposed to using guilt, shame, and fear as our primary motivation. And that when we are able to relate to ourselves in a more compassionate way, then we are able to approach the things in our life that give us happiness and meaning.
So following on what Rick was just talking about, when he talked about the human brain, he mentioned, right, that the human brain is characterized by that sense of connection, us, which is going to tie right into what I'm going to talk about, which is a little bit more about how belongingness and service connect to happiness. So I'll start with a quote, which is a lengthy quote, but a really nice one by Einstein. A human being is part of the whole called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. We experience ourselves, our thoughts and feelings, as something separate from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion, to embrace all living creatures. And what I'll argue, showing some scientific evidence for this, is that actually this is our true nature, this is the nature of happiness, is that sense of connection. So mirror neurons are activated when we see someone else do something. So let's say I see someone else smiling at me. Internally, that's making me smile. If I see someone pick up an object, it's as if I'm doing it myself. Why is this important? First of all, it's the basis for empathy and compassion. When we see someone else suffering, it makes us suffer in some way, drawing us to want to help others.
Intention. So this is an audience participation. You have to finish the sentence. Happy people intend to be happy.
All right. It's one thing to understand these principles. Very convincing empirical data, very inspiring ideas and thoughts. It's a whole other to translate them into actually embodying them for ourselves.
And we're going to just stretch around a little bit. Move your neck around, stretch out your arms.
If you are here with someone you know, or you just want to reach out to a stranger, you can inhale, open your arms real wide, and give them a hug. You might get in trouble for suggesting that.
Lying down or sitting down, putting your hands on your belly, and taking a few deep belly breaths. Most of the traditions that teach these qualities we're talking about turn to the breath first as the vehicle for cultivating inner peace, connection with others, and well-being.
Up, down, up, down, up, down. Breathing through the nose. Good.
I'm Tenzin. I'm a junior at Stanford, and I work with Project Compassion and Center for Compassion, Altruism, Research, and Education. And the reason why I'm here today is because I think cultivating compassion is such an important and integral part of our lives. And as a Buddhist, I feel even more connected to these values. So I'm here to just kind of hone those skills and practice it within myself and with other people as well. I think empathy and happiness are both inseparable entities. For you to cultivate genuine happiness for yourself and for others, if you are not an empathetic person, it really is difficult to feel the sense of happiness that comes with being altruistic. And I think a lot of people in the world have shown and proven that, including the Dalai Lama himself, who is one of the most empathetic people, who've demonstrated that empathy can ultimately lead to true happiness.
I'm Colton Bunny. I work with Project Compassion. We just try to take some of the scientific findings of like Paul Ekman or some of the work by Kelly McGonigal and apply it on campus to try to take these very theoretical things and have real world applications of them.
I helped found Project Love, which is a student group that spawned out of this amazing intro STEM taught by Anne Firth Murray in the Human Biology Department, which is called Love is a Force for Social Justice. And the class was about learning about what love is at the most basic level, what is compassion, and how do we turn compassion into action. Empathy is just that natural state that we are trying to reinforce and get people back in touch with, because school is so stressful. Social things are stressful. We're trying to move the emphasis away from those stressors into what life is all about.
One of the key factors toward being a happy person is the development of empathy, which is the ability to actually recognize and feel along with the experience of someone else. I think empathy is often misunderstood. It isn't the experience of falling into that person's experience. It's rather the reality of staying within your own experience, but yet understanding where another person is coming from, opening your mind and opening your heart to experiencing their reality for just a short period of time, because ultimately we are all connected. And when we focus on how we link together, I think that could lead to more inner peace, as well as a world that has and offers more peace to everyone living here, as well as the planet.
It's still I'm gonna let it
see the world through other people's eyes. Now, empathy is a quality of character that can change the world.